Hey guys, how's it going? Michael Troy here. Today we are looking at a classic issue of X Factor. It's like one of the best done comics and so good, so well written, so well drawn. Peter David and Joe Quesada. I love it. One of my favorite issues of X Factor. Can't wait to show it to you. Subscribe to my channel if you haven't already. Hit that like button and let's get right into it. Okay, so this is X Factor 87. I feel like this is Joe Quesada's first monthly issue. I think he did the cover of 82. He might have done an issue or two before that, but he did like several in a row with Peter David, and it was such a great run. It was so good. Such a good era of X Factor. Interesting team mix. Great art from Larry Stroman and now Joe Quesada. So this is a good time for X Factor. I love this cover. Joe Quesada's art is like really good. He's very like I don't know, just like great classic superhero and very distinct style of his own. I thought it was such a great mix on this X Factor, but I love Rain ripping through the logo. I love when they incorporate like some sort of manipulation of the logo with the cover. It's just one of those comic tropes that shows how fun comics can be. And you do have the Larry Stroman heads in the little corner box here still, so this is a great cover. Joe Quesada's art is so good. Al Milgrom inked a lot of issues of X Factor, and I feel like his combination here with Joe Quesada was really good. Like, equal to, I would say, like, Joe Quesada and Jimmy Palmiotti in a lot of ways. He was one of the best Joe Quesada inkers, I feel. Fun. He's like lampooning Ren and Stimpy with Rain and Stimpy. I mean, that does sort of speak of, you know, Peter David's sort of eye-rolling sense of humor and some, like, knee-slapper, like, airplane knee humor in a lot of ways, but sometimes it works hilariously. It is cool to see Joe Quesada do this sort of animated style and echo Ren and Stimpy, which I'm sure was insanely popular at the time. I don't know. But she references, like, comparing her life to movies and TV shows, and I want to see Rain Man with R-A-H-N-E man. I mean, that would be cool. What else? Rain. I don't know. But anyway, the art in here is so good. Like, the storytelling is good. Joe Quesada's use of, like, blacks and, like, just negative spaces. Like, just, it's pretty mundane because it's, like, the famous psychiatry issue where, they're speaking to a shrink after a mission in case they severed some sort of trauma about it. But it's a great character study. It sort of dissects the foundation of the characters and revealing their sort of inner demons, and it's cool in a way. I don't know if they reveal, but I think it's Doc Samson interviewing him. You know, if you're gonna have a psychiatrist superhero, it better be Doc Samson, who seems like a head case in himself, kind of exposing himself to a limited version of the Hulk so he could gain the power, but not the psychotic monster. I mean, that's a pretty dicey take. Speaking of dice, I mean, that's not a dice, it's a Rubik's Cube. This is like one of the best deconstruction, and maybe deconstruction is probably not the right word, but examinations of, I feel like this Rubik's Cube should be green on both sides there, right? Oh, not necessarily. Anyway, oh no, not necessarily. It's been a couple years since I picked up a Rubik's Cube, but it's such a great, like, dissection of his character and explanation of why he's such a prick, because he's impatient, because everyone is that slow, stupid person in line in front of him at the grocery store, and he does his puzzle just like that to prove his point. Lorna is pretty off the rails here. I don't necessarily like this take on her. She, like, clearly has an eating disorder, and I don't know. Guido, we learn a lot about his character and, like, how his powers developed. And once again, the storytelling here is so good. And I really love the sort of monochromatic palette that the colorist chose. The coloring is very good, matches up with the art. And I cannot say enough about Al Milgrom's inks. Very flattering. This is, like, probably some of the best work of Joe Quesada's career. I really love this. I feel like a little bit of this is like cheesy in a way, like Friends-ish. All your Friends fans out there just went, but you know what I mean? I mean, some of it, like, I appreciate the effort though. Like, this is such a well crafted comic. The storytelling is so good. They're firing on all cylinders, and I think their team up was just great. I don't know how the experience was for them. I had never heard either of them really speak of that, but I think it was a great combo. I think some of the greatest issues of X Factor came out of this. I really love the artistry of a piece like this, where he's looking out the window and you see the reflection of the leaves, and then the camera pulls back to reveal his face, and like it's just such a great design of Havoc. I mean, I have to say, I'm such a lover of his like Neil Adams costume with the big boomerang-looking head and the concentric circles, but damn, I do love this design. I feel like Larry Stroman probably designed that when he took over initially. I'll just not even say anything. Anyway, some great silhouette here. I love it. I feel like Joe Quesada just knows very instinctively and perfectly how to do and use these kind of silhouettes. You know, you could argue that in a way it's like saving time, but just like the intricacy in there, like there's a lot of purposefulness, and I just really appreciate all the beauty of the line work in this. I would love to see the original art. I would love to see, I don't know, like an X Factor artist edition, like throw in the Jay Lee stuff, the Joe Quesada stuff, the Larry Stroman stuff. Oh yeah, we do get to see that it's Doc Samson. You know, it's funny because as a storytelling technique, and like I noticed throughout this issue, and I appreciate, and these are just like the nuances of comics that I like to point out, that why I love comic books so much is like the little things you can do. Like, I mean, arguably it's just, you know, makes sense as a director, or like just wanting, like when he speaks, there's a green circle around the edge to denote that it's him speaking. I would have probably done it in boxes. I don't know. Not to question Peter David. I mean, who am I, right? Like, I mean, how many Eisners does Peter David probably have? Anyway, but I just still appreciate that. Isn't that funny how I lifted it up and tore it down at the same time? That's my special talent. Loving all the shadowing here. Like, I just really think that Joe Quesada, in a way, like, there's, you know, like his characters aren't like super beautiful in a way, but I just really love his style. I just think it's really good. This is the inevitable point in an Image comic that is a Marvel book, where we turn the book sideways. And usually I don't mind because it's to showcase big, beautiful art, but this is just like kind of a weird storytelling technique. But I think like, and once again, like this is fun. Kind of saving the credits for last and then incorporating the title. And just like, there's pretty great storytelling. I totally forgot what happened with like her being hauled away. What happened with Val Cooper? Did she return? We'll have to find out. Peter David, general practice. See, he's walking past all the offices, and on the doors instead of the doctor's names, it's the credits for the book. Love it. Joe Quesada, doctor of gynecology. Now, why did he have to go and do that, Peter David? Because it's so funny. See, this is like hilarious. Because that kind of thing was funny in the 90s. Peter David, general practice. Al Milgrom, doctor of ophthalmology. He wears these big Coke bottle glasses, I think, so maybe that's a nod to that. Marie Javins. Interesting, because I think that means she's the colorist here. And now she's the president of DC Comics. You go, girl. Congrats. Stepping up, moving up in the world. Richard Starkings and Steve Dutro, doctors of podiatry. I mean, Quali Coviers, ear, nose, and throat. Bob Harris, doctor of urology. And of course, I knew it. Save the best for last. You stinker, Peter David, Tom DeFalco, doctor of proctology. And I wonder if there was any malice in that whatsoever. Perhaps we'll never know. Peter David, if you're watching, and up for a tell-all interview, drop into my DMs. Anyway, thanks for watching, guys. Such a classic issue of X Factor. I totally love it. Firing on all pistons. Great story all around. Not a lot to take apart on this one. Great book. Anyway, thanks for watching, guys. Subscribe to my channel if you haven't already. I keep begging. Please do it. Hit like, share my content. I'll bring you more later.